Hey everybody, welcome to Your Time to Thrive with Jason Stevenson. Hey Jay,
Hey,
how are you?
Ben, what's going on, sir? I'm doing great, man. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Uh, you know, things things are crazy. Um, as you
Yeah, you've
know,
had a pretty, yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
It's a big deal.
we just moved and stuff. So what are we talking about today?
A couple different things. First, I want to talk about the 5 minutes is more than enough.
Okay.
Is that's the first step, right? Establish boundaries. Now, it was part of what we talked about the other day as far as the fit tip of the week, because in today's day and age, we don't have lots of free time. Most people are carving time out of their lives for things that are really important to them. And unfortunately, health kind of gets sidelined or backtracked, or it's one of those, hey, when I have time or when I have enough time, I'll do that. Or when I can, like we talked about last week, when I can go run the marathon. It's a hard process to try and establish a habit or consistency when we try to allot chunks of time out of our lives that we could be doing other things with. And
Yeah.
my suggestion to people is to really just do as much as you can. 5 minutes might be enough today. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I really like that. What is the point of 5 minutes is better than no minutes? What is like the core behind that is just to do something, right? Something is
Yes.
better than nothing always. You're never going to walk towards what you want if you don't physically walk towards what you want. You know what I mean? So, so that's a that's sort of a hard lesson to learn, I think. It shouldn't be. It feels really easy, and like it makes sense, but when you're not able to go full blast on something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it's like, why do it at all?
Yeah.
And that is definitely something that can be difficult when you know that you can't go when you can't give something your all. So like if you're thinking like, well, I don't have an hour and a half to go to the gym today. I don't, um, it's you give up at that point. You go,
Yeah.
well, if I don't have the time to do it right, then I'm not going to do it at all.
Right.
Um, so
Well, this touches on a lot of the things that we've been talking about, which is, trying to find a habit that you can maintain. So, am I consistently focused on my fitness? Am I consistently focused on my food?
mhm.
Then yeah, then that's a step forward. It might be that today I'm just allocating 5 minutes to do a couple of sun salutations, and that's all I have time for. But then I have maintained my fitness habit. I have maintained my fitness focus. And then I can repeat that tomorrow. And hopefully I can spend more than 5 minutes on a regular basis. But that all or nothing thing does work for a lot of people. That type A personality is usually like a jump in or jump out kind of thing. But those are oftentimes the people that fall off the fastest. We
Yeah,
talked about this a couple of weeks ago about the COVID thing. People were so consistently stuck on like, I'm going to the gym, I go to the gym, I go to the gym, I go 5 days a week, I go 4 days a week, whatever their habit was. And then all of a sudden you close the doors of the gym and now I don't have my habit. And what do I do? Well, most of the country figured out that they can actually do something other than just walk in the doors of a gym and still be successful, because it's about what can you do to move the needle. The trick is to not postpone. We talked about it last week. Like, don't wait till Magic Monday. Don't wait until next week to start that habit. Just do it today. Even if it's literally looking down at your dinner plate at the end of the day, you didn't do any exercise, you haven't thought about your food all day, you've drank no water, and you look down at your dinner plate and you're like, I don't need to eat all of that. So at least you consciously made a choice to portion control at some point during your day. And that's better than nothing, which is the point of the 5 minutes. It's better than nothing. It's not the plan, it's not the long term, but it's a piece of the long term. So 5 minutes today or 5 minutes of thought about my food or 5 minutes of planning for my meals for the week is better than nothing. And if the option is, I'm going to not work out, I'm not going to do this at all today because I don't have the time, or I'm going to walk around the house for 5 minutes outside, take some deep breaths, let my bare feet feel the grass, and I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to feel better about my day and about myself and about my life, then that's a lot better than absolutely nothing. And then that builds. Because for most people, that's how they create a repeatable habit. They just start with 5 minutes around the house, or they just start with some sun salutations, or they just start with one meal a day that they're taking seriously and eating as perfectly as they can. Then that builds. That's the point.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's expand on this for a minute. Let's go to the let's build on this 5 minute is better than nothing principle. On this 5 minutes is a way to create a habit that you can sustain. Let's do this. Let's use me as an example. Okay, I just had a big change in life. Moving to a new house. I have a new space. Have more privacy, more control of my own time, stuff like that. Perfect opportunity right now to start some new rhythms and get some more action. Give me a plan, health and wellness coach.
Okay. Well, then we're going to go back to your stretching routine that you were doing in the mornings before you did anything else.
Okay.
And that's
and by the way, I'm going to take notes on this. Go ahead.
I hope so. You're a detail guy. That would make sense. And that's all I want you to do. For the next week, I just want you to start your day by getting up and doing your stretching routine and a little bit of meditation while you do it. That's it.
Okay.
For the next week.
All right.
And then we'll build on it. Then we'll build on it.
Now, does that also go with a food goal?
Yeah.
Or do you start with just the let's start from nothing. So we start with a 5 minute or more stretching routine every day. Great. And then what's next?
Track your food.
Track your food.
Track your food. That's always the first step. Go back to doing it. Do it for the week. We'll get an assessment of where you are, and you'll get a grasp as to what you need to work on.
Okay.
And that's it. Don't change any of your food habits. You guys are going to adjust to moving into a house and trying to logistically figure all that out and the timing and unpacking, and your free time is going to be minimal right now. So just track. Just write down what you eat. And it doesn't matter about specifics, like don't weigh stuff. Don't go crazy putting it on a scale. Just track.
And is that something that you would recommend for everyone?
First step in any nutrition, absolutely. Track your food, even if it's just for 3 days. It's an awareness. It's like your bank account. If you don't look at your bank account, you have no idea how much money is coming in and going out and who's doing that to your bank account. So it's the first step is always an awareness. And besides the fact that if you ask for any help from a professional, they're going to ask for a food diary from you. And if you're tracking, then we know. Yes. Yeah. And I agree wholeheartedly with that statement right there. Absolutely.
So, okay, great. Now let's move into the bulk of the episode. And by the way, let's follow up on that next week.
Deal. Definitely. We'll keep it as an ongoing process.
Sure. Let's have some accountability on this freaking live show. Because why not? What else? Right? What else we got going? So, starting. Let's see. Megan said, starting with small steps brings you small wins that add up, especially when you are first building habits. Hell yeah, Megan.
Somebody's been paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. So track your food, even if it's for 3 days. That's the first step in any nutrition plan. And 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than no minutes. Start small.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Repeat.
Yeah. Repeatable, maintainable. That was our last episode.
Yeah.
So let's move into the bulk of this episode, which is going to be building healthy immune system.
Yeah, focusing on your immune system. It under current situations that we're all dealing with right now, A lot of people are asking what to do or how to react to the current situation. And there's certainly preventative things we can do, and there's certainly reactive things that we can do. This started for me back at the beginning of March when I watched an interview with Dr. Fauci, and he literally said, this is a good opportunity for people to start talking about common sense, wash your hands a little bit more, and, think about your groupings and when you're going out socially, and start cleaning a little bit. And if you're not feeling well, staying at home, which is what we all started as a reactionary response to this. But I got scared initially because our common sense is pretty, we're missing some common sense, shall we just say. And for me, common sense is eating fruits and vegetables and drinking lots of water and exercising and getting enough sleep and watching your stress levels. But that's really what helps you in the long run. So can you come home and wash your hands? Does that help you? Yeah, absolutely. Can you wear a mask out in public right now? Yeah. Does that help you? Yeah. But those are more protections. What you want to think about is no matter what happens to your body during this current crisis or in the future, your best defense is having a strong immune system, because it is always your best defense. You are always fighting off stuff. They've just recently, in the last 6 years, started to find out through research what our gut microbiome is actually about, and how much of your body is actually made up of bacteria and how much is actually your cellular structure. And what they are finding is that you have an awful lot of bacteria in your body, and not you specifically, but all of us,
I mean, yeah.
But what is happening on an ongoing basis is your system is fighting, and every day it kills cancer cells, and every day it kills bacteria and viruses and things that your system comes into contact with. And the only way that that's possible is if you weaponize the army that is inside of you. So this is kind of like we're all standing on a battle line, and some of the generals in our army are saying, put your shields up, put your shields up. And some of the other generals are saying, put your shields up and pull your swords. And your sword is you taking care of yourself. Your shield is how you wash your hands, how you wear a mask, how you don't go into public spaces with a lot of people in it. Those are defenses that you can physically do, but your sword is your weapon. Your immune system, the strength of your cells is your immune system. So that comes from what you put in and what you're around. Yeah. And that's environmental, as well as things that you actually ingest, whether it's air or food or water. I know that's a lot. Go ahead. I got a lot more on this because it's been firing me up, and I've been dying to talk about it, because you go on TV. Well, you go on TV and nobody is talking about boosting your immune system. My favorite example, and I'm quoting Bill Maher, actually, it was one of his stand-ups, and he said, if I went to my doctor last fall and I said, flu season is coming, I'm thinking about staying inside and eating a whole bunch of crappy food and not exercising, what do you think, doc? Your doctor would tell you you're an idiot. Your doctor would say, that does not sound like a good way to defend your cells. Your doctor would suggest that you boost your vitamins. You take lots of zinc and vitamin C, that you boost your fresh fruits and vegetable intake, that you get lots of exercise, that you drink lots of good water, that you don't ingest foods that are cancer causing, because we know what foods cause cancer, and things that are, there you go, oxidant full. There's tons of foods out there. You take a food and you batter it and you deep fry it, you literally strip it of nutrients, and then you actually increase its capacity to cause cancer in your body. And that's a food group in our country. And for a lot of people over the last couple of months, that's been a regular food group, because I'm doing takeout. It's fast and easy, and I want French fries. But you're literally giving your body a styrofoam sword to go into battle with when you're not eating fresh fruits and vegetables, when you're not taking 5 minutes to just stretch, when you're not taking 5 minutes to go outside and walk. Because wherever you live, you can go outside and walk. They're not stopping people from going outside and walking. You just have to wear a mask and not be in a bunch of people. You need to be outside. Get vitamin D from being outside. Get some sunshine. Eat healthy. It's not complicated. These are all common sense things that my grandmother taught me, you know, and my grandfather. We used to talk about it all the time. We need to go outside. You need to get some exercise. Don't forget to eat your grapefruit. You know, the little things that were part of our lifestyle that have now been replaced by convenience, laziness and convenience, because I can order food online. I can sit in my house and feel safe, but you're literally protecting your body with styrofoam. It's not going to stop anybody attacking you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got more. You want me to keep going? You got questions?
I mean, I have no. I don't really have questions because what you're saying just makes sense, and it's not something that I feel like is arguable. You know, like I don't think it needs clarification. And I don't think there's no devil's advocate to. I keep wanting to swear on this show.
There are no rules.
There are.
You've been allowed to swear in front of me for years. I swear at you all the time.
I know. But we might want to do something else with the podcast later, so I don't want to.
It's actually interesting because you actually swear at me during the workouts, and I swear during our conversations. Like it's just part of my vocabulary. I appreciate the professionalism, but don't feel like you have to mince your words, Ben.
All right. Well, anyway, it's like it's not arguable, right? That you should take care of yourself, like, you know, and that taking care of yourself is going to help you better to take care of yourself. Those things should be like your method and your goal and your, you know, outline when we talked about this show and when we talked about any content that you've ever done and just your philosophy in general is keep it simple, stupid, you know, and doing the things to take care of yourself to help your body better take care of you is one of the simplest things that you could possibly do and comprehend and understand. So why are we not doing that? But before we get to that, Megan has a question. What kind of food should we be eating to help our immune system?
Great question. Quick response to Peg. I use the analogy of the bank account for all kinds of things, and for the financials, because everybody functions on money. And that's my mom, actually, that's posting there. So I'll give a shout out to her because she's the one that taught me to use analogies when I teach and when I train people, because it helps us connect.
I'm sorry, this is your mom?
Yeah.
That's your mom?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Jay's mom.
Say hi, Mom.
Hi. Hope you're doing. She's in Philly?
She's in Maine now.
Maine.
They quarantined. They got safely up there. They're good.
All right. Enjoy Maine.
Credit where credit is due. I would not be where I am and who I am without her.
There you go.
And it's funny to me now because I hear her words coming out of my mouth sometimes, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So Meg, great question. And it's kind of what Ben was just talking about. It should be common sense, right? We should know these things, but I try not to use should in a conversation because a lot of people don't think of it like that. A lot of what we've been taught for the last 30 to 40 years in the industrial food complex that we live in is that this is food. You know, it's a bag of Doritos that tastes like French fries, and it's not food. There's so much on the grocery shelves that are not food. But at the same time, we've brought the needle in a different direction because of our technology and our capacity to share information. We know that that's not food. The organic food section has multiplied exponentially over the last few years. Now you can walk down entire aisles of clean food. But for me, I always look at the same thing that Ben just said. What is simple? So the answer to your question is get things that are closer to the way that God made them. Now, whether it's God, Mother Earth, or universe, one of my founding principles on nutrition is keep it simple. So if it hasn't been processed, it's not packaged, it doesn't taste like something specific that it's really not. If it doesn't have a ton of ingredients in it, your body can utilize it better and it can build your wall of defense better. So you want fresh fruits. You know, citrus are pretty straightforward, tons of vitamin C and really healthy and good for you. But there's actually more vitamin C in bell peppers than most citrus fruits. So eat fresh vegetables as much as we can possibly get our hands on. Things like broccoli, spinach. You're looking for colors. When you look at your plate and you look at your meal plan, it should have as many colors in it as possible. Those are signals from Mother Nature that this food has lots of nutrients in it. And that was designed through the evolution of those products to taste really good and to look really good and attract animals like us and you to eat it because it's got lots of nutrients in it. So think as much fresh fruits and vegetables as possible, lots of lean proteins. Shellfish has a ton of zinc in it. You're looking for things that have antioxidants like berries. Dried berries are great for you. Garlic, ginger, those types of turmeric, all kinds of things that we've learned are really good for us. And now they're in all these health drinks. My suggestion is to always go as clean as you possibly can for it. Get some fresh ginger, squeeze it, add it to some orange juice and some apple juice. It's delicious. Or juice your own stuff. Anytime you can get things that are really basically the way God made it, with as little pesticides and as little processing as possible, your body is just going to eat it. And yes, exactly, Mom, anti-inflammatory foods, which is kind of a tough piece of the puzzle because everybody's system is a little bit different as far as what is more inflammatory to you than me. But the anti-inflammatory foods are certainly on that list. And that's things like the gingers and the garlic, things that are actually going to reduce inflammation in your system. Because like we said, your body is constantly at war. You don't even know it, but every time you walk through a shopping center, your body is dealing with all kinds of toxins and germs. Fortunately, most of our immune system is already strong enough to fight off all of that stuff. But we have to provide our body the fuel to do so. You're always at war. And we're seriously at war right now. And certainly wearing a mask helps. But no matter what happens, at this point, they're saying that 1 in 4 Americans are going to come into contact with this and get sick from it. Whether you get really sick from it or you get sick and you get a cold and your body can deal with it, is just like anything else. It's what you've done, how strong you are, and how you're taking care of your immune system in order to fight it. Because that's the only thing you can do. Just like anything else in life, all you have control over is your choice. So are you going to choose to have a strong, healthy system and deal with life as it comes? Or are you just going to throw caution to the wind and lick doorknobs? I only say that because that's been my response when people ask me how I'm dealing with all this stuff. And I say, I'm licking doorknobs as much as I can because I'm at least building my immune system.
There you go.
I don't recommend that as a health professional. I'll take the disclaimer opportunity. But the truth is, it is your choices that will define your results.
It is your choices that will define your results. That is a perfect way to put a button on that. For sure. Is there anything else that you want to cover today, outside of the immune system stuff? And 5 minutes is better than no minutes. Let's go back to that for a second, because I think that it can apply to the immune system stuff that you just talked to too. Now is a great time to be making sure that you spend those 5 minutes to make sure that you're okay on all of those aspects, or to spend those 5 minutes to go outside and get some vitamin D, right? Or
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's as simple as taking a couple deep breaths, reduce your stress level. This great analogy that our stress fear factors are responsive to our adrenalines and to our old school fight or flight, which is an ongoing process in your system. If you start feeling yourself stressed out, take 3 deep breaths. Because if we were cavemen, women, then we were running around in the woods and a lion were chasing us, you wouldn't be able to take 3 slow, deep breaths. Your system would be pumping adrenaline into you and you would have all kinds of responses in your immune system to handle that. But if you can take 3 slow, deep breaths, then you actually tell your system, everything's okay. There's no lion chasing me and I can breathe better. So go outside, take a couple of deep breaths, get your toes in the grass, get some vitamin D, drink some fresh water, and eat an apple while you're doing it. And we just hit everything.
There you go.
5 minutes of your life, boost that immune system.
Cool. Well, I have about 5 minutes until I need to be ready for the next show that I'm doing. So every week I feel like there's a new thing that I have to go do immediately after this. So last week it was drink some water, which I'm good on now.
Yep. Good.
And this week I'm gonna go stretch. I already have my yoga mat out on the floor.
Perfect.
So tell people where they can find you and find out more stuff about all of this.
Easiest way to find me is thrivetrainingteam.com. Shoot me a message on there, reach out for contact, any questions about what we talked about or anything that relates to health and fitness, and I'll reach back out to you and we'll talk about it. I'm here for you.
He really is. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.